had a feeling you'd come back and save me from all those lonely nights and heartbreaks. And I feel misplaced without you. Why don't we go back to, why don't we go back to, never wanted to end it like we did. I guess shit happens for a reason, but it's like something feels different from back then. Why don't we go back to, why don't we go back to, honestly I'm open wide.
Hey guys, welcome back for another episode. I am Cate Beauman. So let me start by apologizing for not making a video last month. March was a series of disasters and shenanigans, and a video, it just didn't get made. So I apologize for that, but here I am back for April. I wanted to head out and do some errands this morning. It's a nice, beautiful sunny day today, but tonight we are supposed to get snow. Luckily, it's just supposed to be like a coating to an inch, so it's just a little bit, but I wouldn't mind just having like warm, sunny skies. I am very eager for those. If you'll recall, in February, I had mentioned that I was going to share videos and pictures of the tiny house from our trip to Fresno, California, but one of those shenanigans that happened was the trip ended up not happening. Super long story made short, our flights ended up getting canceled twice in one day. There were no weather events, it was like mechanical stuff, and then I don't know why it got canceled the first time. I don't know, the flight that was supposed to go from Manchester to Philadelphia or DC, it wasn't gonna happen. I figure that when your flight gets canceled 2 times in one day, that maybe you're just not supposed to go to Fresno, California that day. So we ended up just putting the kibosh on the whole trip, and we ended up staying home. But we are heading out to Fresno very, very soon. And although I am super excited to see the tiny house in person and be able to walk in it and see all that has been done so far, I will admit that I am a little travel wary. The hubs and I have done 2 or 3 business trips in the last, I think it's like month and a half now. Typically, we love to go on planes, we love to get away, but these really haven't been like fun getaway trips. They're business, and it's just one thing after another. They're kind of just a blur. So I am looking forward to being done with that for a little while. So news on the tiny house, besides us going out to California to see it, we may have found a spot. It has taken us almost a year to find this spot. I'm not gonna say much about it until all the paperwork is signed. I just want everything signed, sealed, and delivered, and then I will let you know where this tiny house is potentially going. So along with all of these ups and downs, I have to admit that I have been really tired and pretty overwhelmed and even depressed a little bit. You know, I think it's really important to be authentic. You know, so much of what we see on social media is fake, or it's just these tiny little snippets and snapshots of people's lives, and a lot of times they aren't showing you the good, bad. Well, no, they are showing you the good, but they're often not showing you the bad and the ugly. So I think it's just important to be real and to be able to say, you know what, I've been having a hard time lately. Life is a gift every single day, but that doesn't mean that sometimes it's not really hard and super challenging. So that is kind of the season we are in right now. And as a result of that, you know, I was writing for a while again. It was going super, super well. I am in love with Jagger and Grace. These are a couple of super good characters. The story so far is awesome, but I kind of keep getting to this spot in the plot and things are kind of fizzling out for me. And typically when I spin a plot, if I get stuck, I can usually think my way through it and imagine my way through it, or, you know, talk it out with my husband, but it's just not happening right now. And I think there's just too much going on. There's too many ups and downs, and I really have to be in a certain space to be able to kind of lock into my story world and create something of quality. And since that's just not something that is happening for me right now, I think I'm just gonna put Jagger and Grace up for a little while, and I will get back to them as soon as life settles down a little bit for us again. In the meantime, I'm not necessarily one to sit still. Right now I'm feeling a little lost without my writing, if I'm being honest. Writing for me is kind of a safe, comfortable place to go and get away and kind of be in charge of a story world. But because that is not happening, I've been trying to be creative in some other ways. days. I used to be a crazy cross stitch lady and so I haven't done it for years and years and years. I think since Connor was a baby, so he's 18 now, so a long time ago. But I found these little like Christmas cross stitches. I'm going to make up a bunch of these little critters. There's like snowmen and Santa, and they will be part of Christmas gifts for this coming season. And then also I have been doing lots of cooking and baking. It's kind of getting late in the day. We had some roofers come today, which was a surprise. I was not expecting that. So I'm going to pick this video up tomorrow. I am going to show you how to make delicious, simple croutons, and they are just so yummy. And then I'm going to share my maple balsamic vinaigrette that also is so delicious. In theory, the weather is going to warm up again, and so it's salad season and all of these delicious greens and yumminess. I am back. Today, the weather is just super raw. It's really cold. I don't think we got snow last night. It's really hard to say, but man, was it pouring when we got up this morning. Today, I'm going to be spending a little time in the kitchen. I'm going to be making some super simple croutons and then a delicious maple balsamic vinaigrette. The crouton recipe, it's a give me some oven recipe. I will definitely link to that. Basically all it is, a loaf of bread and some herbs and a little bit of olive oil. It literally takes as long as it takes to cube up the bread, mix the ingredients together, and then throw them in the oven. I think it's about 15 minutes. You flip them at 7.5 minutes. The only thing that I change about the recipe is my family and I, we don't necessarily love a ton of black pepper, so I always reduce that. And then I also am really sensitive to salt. Like I can just really taste salt in a lot of things. So I also reduce the salt in half as well. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I do a half. Well, let's go ahead and get started.
I feel like I've been here before, familiar with the view. This ain't nothing new. And every time that you walk through the door, I'm hit by the same old side, blinded by the lights, and I'm going through changes, but it's easier with you. I'm going through changes, and so are you. I live for the moments when you're around me.
The croutons are out of the oven. I must say they look really good. When they come out, they'll still be a little bit soft. So, but let's see. That's good. Dangerously good. Like I'm going to have to put them away when they cool, or I'm going to eat them all before we have them for dinner tonight. So I'm going to let these cool, and I am going to move on to the balsamic vinaigrette. So just a couple of little hints here. This looks like a lot of ingredients, but it's actually not. First, you'll definitely want to use real maple syrup. One of the things that I have found with the olive oil is I like to use the extra light tasting olive oil. I did use like regular olive oil, let's see, where is it? The Colavita brand. I think that's how you say it. I hope that's how you say it. It's kind of fun. Colavita. But anyway, so I really love this for like everyday use because it's a first cold pressed brand. But for the sake of this salad dressing, I like the extra light tasting. I feel like the Colavita, it makes the salad dressing a little bit bitter. But when I use the extra light tasting, it is divine. So I think that's it. And and then also with the balsamic, I'm gonna say 1/4 cup of balsamic, but usually it's a scant 1/4 cup. But other than that, no, that's not true. There's more. For years and years and years, I actually was a waitress. So I was a paraprofessional and a waitress, and I waitressed at a country club, and I really loved it because I got to learn all kinds of really cool tricks from some really talented chefs. And so when I make my balsamic at the end, I always use an immersion blender to get some air into it, because that way, instead of it just being all drippy and ending up at the bottom of your bowl, it makes it nice and thick and it stays on your lettuce leaves. Imagine that. All right, let's get started.
I live for the moments when you're around me. I know you've got secrets, but I can't keep on. And we're fading in and out together. The fuse wide open, stuck in the moment. The fuse wide open, stuck in the moment.
Okay, so that is all done. It was that quick. It literally probably takes 5 minutes, and that was even recording. And recording makes everything take so much longer. But this was very fast, and let's see. Very delicious. It's a little on the sweeter side, and it's just really yummy. And it complements the croutons well. And wouldn't you know, it's 12:15, which means it's lunchtime. So I'm gonna cheat a little bit, and I'm going to make myself a salad to go along with my lunch today. And yes, I'm going to have some of these croutons and delicious balsamic. I have just put together half of my lunch. We had some chicken last night, and I'm just gonna heat up the leftovers in a few minutes. But for now, I wanted to show you just the little thing that I've put together. So I just pulled some greens out of the fridge. You know, a lot of times people think that salads need to be this big deal, but really we just need some greens in our lives. So I'm just gonna actually, you know what? I'm gonna back that up. I'm going to start with this balsamic and see how amazing and like thick and fabulous it is. So I'm just gonna take a little bit of that, and I'm going to drizzle it over the greens, and see how it's not just seeping to the bottom of all of the greens. Yes, that is my favorite thing. And then also I'm gonna take a couple of these croutons here, not too many, and just add those to my dish. And they definitely were a little on the soft side when I took them out, but there's plenty of crunch there. So I'm going to sit down and eat my lunch, probably take Jack out, and then I'll be back. All right, so I'm going to end this video in about the same exact place that I started it. Jack and I were just outside having a potty break. I don't know what's up with Mother Nature, but literally the second we stepped outside, it started pouring again. And I just looked outside a couple minutes ago and it stopped. So Jack is super, super soaked. Luckily I had a hood on, so I'm just a tiny bit soaked. My jeans are wet, but I'm also cold. So I'm going to have this cup of tea handy here. Earth Day is coming up on Friday. It's either this Friday if I get this video edited in time, and if not, it was this last Friday. And so I thought it would be fun to just show you super quick a couple of the things that I like to try to do to be a little bit more Mother Nature friendly or Mother Earth friendly. I am by no means perfect at it, not even close. We have had these forever. They are shopping bags, and we use them all of the time. And I have to say that every time we put them up for the person to put the groceries into, they're always like, oh my gosh, I love those. So I will share the link to these. We got them on Amazon. We literally have probably had these for 6 or 7 years, and they just have held up forever. They hold up to 30 pounds. So like you can get a lot of stuff in them. And then I've kind of been trying to up the laundry game here a little bit just because of all of the plastics and stuff like that. So I've been trying these, make sure you can see it, these TruEarth strips. They're like laundry soap in a strip. And so it looks like this. If you use one for like a regular size load, you can use half for like if you have a smaller load, and then you can use 2 if you have like a gargantuan load, like we often do. So I started with the 8-pack. You can do like a starter pack. I feel like they work well. So I ended up getting the 64-pack this time, and they have like unscented, and then they also have this one which is fresh linen, and it just has like a really delicate yummy scent. And so I really am enjoying using these. And then the last thing, I saw this, I like Clutterbug, the Clutterbug on YouTube. She's a professional organizer, and she also has a show on HGTV, and she's super funny. Her name is Cass, and I super love her. And so she was talking about like cleaning hacks and stuff like that. One way that you can make your fabric softener last longer is you actually use sponges, like regular old kitchen sponges, not the ones that have like the scrubby side on them, just like the, I don't know, the normal ones without the green scrubby stuff on them. It's a 1-to-1 ratio of fabric softener and water, and you put it in here. So I think when I started this, it was 2 cups of water and 2 cups of fabric softener. I've just started using the Myers brand fabric softener. I like this one. This one has a pretty scent. It's just very subtle. I'm sensitive to smells. I'm sensitive to a lot. I'm actually a highly sensitive person. That's a real thing. Like 20 to 25% of the population is highly sensitive, and I am one of them. But this one, I really like this one. It's called Rainwater, and it's nice. But so anyway, so obviously we've got plastic here. I don't love using plastic when I can get away from it, but one way that I'm going to make it so that I'm using less, I'm going to be using less often is by doing this. It extends the life of the fabric softener. So far, so good. I think the only downfall to this is that you have to like squeeze it out a little bit because you don't want to put them into the dryer sopping wet because I guess it can like stain the clothes a little bit. You just squeeze them out a little bit and then you toss them into the dryer. I ended up cutting ours in half. If I do just like a regular load, I just use a half. And if I do, again, a gargantuan load, I just toss 2 of them in there. And then when they come out dry again, you just toss them back into the solution and you're good to go for the next time. So that's me being more earth friendly. I'm gonna look into some more earth friendly cleaning products, I think probably when we get settled in the tiny house, so I don't have all kinds of things coming in and out. But yes, do you have any environmentally friendly tips or tricks that you could share? They could be cleaning or just anything. I'm always ready and willing to up my environmentally friendly game. So hopefully when I come back next month, we will have gone to Fresno and I'll have more updates on the tiny house and hopefully I'll have some pictures and videos to share. But until then, I will see you in May. Is that right? Is it really almost May? Thank you so much for spending a part of your day with me. It's always so much fun. And I hope that you love the balsamic and croutons. They're so simple and they can up your dinner game a little bit and make eating greens a little bit more fun. So until next time, I'll see you then. Bye.